like drabby navy. But I like this one. That's almost SP1. Dude, SP111 is on another level, dude. That thing is like electric teal. I'm not kidding. Nothing compares to that one. Hope you can compare the Tomo to the Sonnet. Dude, I've actually never typed on a Sonnet, and I've never even seen one in person. So I wish I could compare it, but yeah, I think the only mode board I've ever typed on, I don't even think I've ever typed on a mode board. I've never even built a mode board on stream. No one's asked me to build one. My olive Tomo is pretty accurate to pics. Dude, the olive looks sick. It's like kind of a drabby olive. Yo, the blue looks kind of nutty on your camera with, does it look like that IRL? Dude, yeah, it does. Like, yeah, it does. Pretty sick. I'm trying to take it out of the light. Like, it looks slightly warmer, but it is pretty much in this direction for sure. I got silver, love it. Yo, looks like a light blue midway. I think the first blue pick was the special blue boards that sent to Teja to build. Okay, Fatal, that makes sense because that doesn't even look like their own render. So I think you're right. I think you're right on that one. So that lighter blue one is probably the one-off, but that dark blue in the render photo, I would imagine, is the suave blue. It's honestly nutty, dude. I'm telling you, like, if I showed you guys my DMs right now, I literally, Popcorn sent me this. Like I said, let me preface this one last time to show you guys like my perspective and kind of expectation going into this is Tomo TGR mass produced 75. That's literally like, that was my you know, kind of opinion of it. And then I saw a bunch of people online saying, oh, I love the Tomo, and like, oh, Tomo sucks. Like, I'm just like, I don't even care. It's 75 mass produced TGR. I don't want it. And then Popcorn was like, oh, I'm doing like Tomo extras, do you want to build one? And I had a bunch of people asking me like, oh, like, can you build the Tomo? Like, I want to see how the Tomo's like, blah, blah, blah. And so I was like, yeah, like, send me a Tomo, I'll build it. You could do your extras like, you know, that week or the next day. So she's actually doing her extras tomorrow, and I'm building it tonight. And if I showed you guys my DMs with her, I opened the board and I looked at it and I was like, damn, like, this is some smooth Anno. Like, this is nice. And I even DM'd her, I was like, dude, this is wild. This is nice. I would say this is, I don't know, man. This is like, if we compared it to the 910 Gaff, dude, it's like almost identical in smoothness. You can probably tell from like the angle, right? This one actually pops a bit more. Oh. Anyway, yeah, okay. So, as far as my opinion, smoothness, 100%. I'm down. Very smooth. Saturation of the Anno, great. No complaints at all. If anything, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with this Anno job. This is very clean. Very clean. Not even just the fact that it's a unique color, just the actual finish on it is so smooth, right? So let's go ahead and break it down a little bit. You got birch for this blue. Dude, I do have birch coming. It's honestly nutty, what the frick? I know, dude. I got olive, but I'm coping for this blue. I think I wish I had the olive to compare. Dang, that's a nice color. Next nest color. Yo, Matt, what's going on, bud? How's it going? This is I don't know, dude. Maybe I will steal this. Anyone know the Pantone for this color here? What time tomorrow are the extras? I believe 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock. I love the Anno Mine up there with the Singa Anno. Yeah, so let's take a look here at kind of the characteristics of the board, right? So, okay, if we were to compare this, so 75 is like a very interesting bracket, because once you get into a 75, there are a lot of different kind of form. The 75 form factor allows for a lot of creativity with the design. So for instance, if we took a look at, let me show you guys real quick here, like the SAT 75 from Canon Keys, right? So if we look at the SAT 75, also a 75%. This is also a 75%, right? But way different vibe, completely different vibe going on, right? So if we compared these two, SAT 75, not only do you have blockers in between the F row, right? We have blockers on this one as well, but if you notice, the escape and the F1 is thick, thin, screen. Right here we have equal blockers. In my opinion, this is very similar to an F13 TKL, where they're equal, right? I think it looks better. Additionally, we have this is called exploded, right? So this is an exploded 75, meaning they've added a blocker in between the arrows and the macro or nav cluster, right? So you have, it's also, it should be a bigger board, right? But you don't have a big, you have a tiny blocker, I guess if you want to call it, between the control and the arrow. This one you have a traditional, almost like a 65% blocker. So the bottom row is very similar to a 65%, right? And then you have the nav cluster is going to be touching just like a 65%. So this is more so just kind of like a 65, right? And then they added an F row onto it. That's kind of the best way to look at it. I wish it were 7V layout or a TKL. Yo. Yes, 11 a.m. Cool. It's an F row 65. I do appreciate the typical arrow cluster layout with the blocker. They did 75% the right way. Yeah, so if we looked at GOX 75, so that's going to be the 7V. If you did not know, V is 5 in Roman numerals, hence the 7V name. So if we look at this, similar to the SAT 75, right? But it's slightly different than the SAT 75 in a sense that, right? So here, we do have the exploded view. We still have that exploded view like the SAT 75, but we also have equal thickness between the F row, right? So it's kind of like the 7V is in between the Tomo and the SAT 75. Does that make sense? So I would say as far as like layout goes, this to me is one of the most important. On GOX, I'm okay with the exploded view. I feel like it works. Like I've told you guys, this is my favorite 75%. And I hate to love it because I hate 75%, but this board just types so damn good. But that's kind of the interesting thing about 75% is you have a lot of leeway with the design, right? When 7V round 2, yo. 2 words, F13, yes, right? So we do have that F13 right here. But yeah, think of this like a 65% with an F row, right? What color Tomo are you getting tomorrow? 7U Superior. We are building 7U tonight. I like the design of the Tomo. You actually like the design of the Tomo better? Nice. I think they're both pretty solid. I think the SAT 75 is probably my least favorite, given the fact that it's got the F12. But then again, SAT 75 originally ran when F13 wasn't popular, right? F13 is an emote macro. Yes. F13 is Discord mute, unmute. There you go. Yeah, you can set it to whatever you want, which is kind of cool. So, all right, let's take a look. We also have this badge here. So this is what I originally thought would be like a rotary knob, but it is indeed just a badge, right? Now let's look at the side profile. Very similar to a Jane V